As always, I'm using the Fractal theory, explanation video, how it works, and I will put in at the end of the video. Okay, well then let's start with AMC. As always, if you're interested in the full video in price targets, how it should look like, one part squeeze, part squeeze, how the fractal should look like, I will link the big update video at the end of the video. Today we just look what we have done. So let's look in. Little thing before we start with the tracking, maybe some of you saw that, yeah? This little fight yesterday on my X account with a very, very old viewer, because he was quite there from the start of this channel. And it was only about, I said in my last video, I don't think we see something big this week. And especially, I want to see a pullback this week. It was a pretty stupid fight, kindergarten, yeah. Especially, he was wrong. But the thing I want to make is, you can have another opinion to make that absolutely clear, yeah. You can say, I don't believe in this theory, and I have other tracking, and I look more on the fundamentalist side, and so on and so on. That's absolutely okay. We even can discuss this. Yeah? I'm not here to convince anybody. I'm only showing my version of my idea and tracking. Yeah? It's no problem till the point you're not behaving like a grown-up. If you behave like a little baby, like in kindergarten, if you're using stupid words and getting aggressive, I end it. Banned forever. And like the guy yesterday, yeah, I don't care. I'm not doing this for views. Yeah, this is the only rule I have on this channel. Normal behavior. Yeah, especially because I don't know how many times I say that I hate people, especially people who are having a quite big followership, and saying next week, every fucking week, and who think that their opinion is the only one. Yeah, because these people are the problem on YouTube and general in predictions, and these people are the problem why especially the Fractal theory has such a bad reputation, because they're saying, hey, we're going 100% up this week, and if it's not happening, they don't talk about it anymore. They don't say, okay, tracking was wrong, or suddenly it was day and manipulation. The cheapest excuse you can find. It's just stupid. Yeah? And again, to make it absolutely clear, I only said I'm looking for a pullback. This guy was 100% sure we will break today's $3 or $6. I already said in the conversation, you can read it on X. Just wait till Monday, till today. We will get our answer. No respect anymore. You're a shell, blah, 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 blah. Well, you look like a... Sorry, we got the pullback. And it's even worse because now suddenly, today, after you were so sure yesterday, today, yeah, I'm looking for a higher low. You know, after some time, people will see that, will realize that. Yeah, that's one of the main points I made this channel. I try to give you every possibility we can go. I always say what I think we do, but on this channel it's important. If we're breaking levels to the upside, we're doing this. If we're breaking levels to the downside, we do this. Without ego, without, how do you say that? Hopium or fear mongering. Just every possibility. But you decided to go a route, okay? So you're banned. Okay, now we finish this kindergarten bullshit. Now we start. So I said in the video on Sunday, I don't expect something big this week. Yeah, I expect really a higher low. a pullback and a real higher low. This is not a higher low today. Yeah. So if we're doing the perfect version, the picture perfect fractal version, this was the peak of our higher low. This today, this was our C. In that case, we maybe, for the quick case, already did our midpoint. So in the best, quickest way, which we all wish, I think, we would go down, coming up again, do our T, and then we fall to our V under A point. Till Thursday would be perfect. The V under A point is 182. Yeah, something under 182 in the best case till Thursday, because then I can see a good possibility we really see something big next week. Yeah. Why do I think that? Yeah, because that was also a conversation. The TA is bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Okay, why? First, we look at May 2024. Here, we went up to our A. We made a 618 pullback. Perfect. Bounced there. And after the 618 pullback, we did a higher low. Yeah? From the bottom to the peak, under the 786, under V under A. So if we look at May, yeah, it would be the same thing. Then we can look at 2021. In the 2021, which is my main tracking, the only question is, are we already in January 20, or are we slow and are still in January 13th? Yeah. If you're interested in this, just watch the video from Sunday. But also, in both cases, yeah, in both cases, we did a higher low after that. Yeah. In both cases, just look from here to here, 786, from here to here, nearly 78.6, but under V under A. Yeah, in both cases. So, of course, you can say this time is different. I mean, that's always the same answer. Yeah. So this would be my main thinking. For these versions, we have two levels. First of all, the one level which is ruling every bullish version, we are not allowed to break under 172. In my opinion, if we're breaking this low again, this will be a lower high, and just my thinking, we will go to new all-time lows till end of the year. It doesn't make sense fundamentally at all. I also don't think it will happen, but a break of this low from last Thursday is fucking bearish. And of course, for this version, you are not allowed to break 304, yeah, because then we are way too high. We will come to that in the end. The only really two alternatives we have is the easiest one here, because you might remember, if you're already watching my videos longer, back here in May 2026, I was also looking for this higher low. I never got it, yeah, but I learned. So I'm also okay with something like this. In that case, we would do the rest of the week something like this. Yeah, if we don't need normal higher lows anymore. We have to wait and see. The only third version, which is interesting, is if you look at the peaks here, they went very high. Also, the peak of 2024. Here, wait, 2024, yeah. Also went very high, higher than normal higher lows are doing. So if we suddenly, not squeezing tomorrow, but just going up strong tomorrow, and I would say something 20%, 30%-ish, yeah, then this peak today was just little b, yeah, because from the A bottom to the B peak could be a bounce on the 0.5, could be. In that case, we're still looking for our higher low peak. I would say something around 260 to 275. Yeah? We would go up, most likely tomorrow till Wednesday. we would still reject, doing then our midpoint, doing then our T, and then falling to VIND. For this version, does the bottom here change? No. Normally you could say, yeah, okay, but the 786 is higher. Yeah, but the 786 fib we only use if we don't know where our A bottom is. In that case, I think it's pretty sure that our A bottom is 1.82. So also in this case, we would fall down to the 1.82. The only thing with this version is, if we're doing this till Wednesday, I find it quite hard that we're doing this pullback till Thursday, because Friday is in the stock market. In my opinion, if we do this and doing the pullback, there's a good chance we're doing this whole next week, but only price action will tell. So what if we now suddenly do this week something like this? Yeah, what does that mean? First of all, what does that mean is that my idea, my tracking on this little section here is wrong, because I don't see it. Yeah, but you always should have alternatives. So I already talked it in a video on Sunday. My problem with this is, if we're doing that, I mean, of course, we make money. Yeah, but in my opinion, if we slowly grinding up here, yeah, and slowly, I mean 20, 30, 50, 60% a day, yeah, I see a good chance that we will reject this trend line, because we didn't do that in 2021. We didn't do that in 2024. We only did something like that in 2025. I will show that in a second. But that would only mean we go something around $8, $9, $10. We are not breaking May 2024 peak. This would become our macro T, and till end of the year falling to all-time low. So why? Just because if we look at May 2025 here, we did the same thing. We just went up, got our little pullbacks, but no real higher lows, and ended in a micro squeeze, because really this was not much. Yeah, this was just a rejection of a trend. That's why I really don't want to see that. Not because some stupid idea I also had, you didn't buy cheap contract, blah blah blah. To make that clear, first of all, it doesn't matter on my tracking what position I have. Second, I bought August's down here. Yeah, my average is around 2 to 4 cents or some stupid like that. Yeah, I mean, no financial advice. Yeah, if we're doing this pullback, I will buy more. Yeah, but it's fine. Squeeze tomorrow. I'm happy. Yeah, I don't have an ego because of that. Okay, sorry. So let's see what we get. Again, my conclusion to AMC is bullish. It looks fantastic. Yeah, and again, news doesn't matter. I mean, I think we got very good news today. Yeah, Toy Story, box office booming, blah 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 blah. Perfect. Still, we got the pullback. And the next excuse, the market was shit. No, the market was fire today. Still got the pullback. Yeah, because they pushed GME down, and that's the reason why they pushed AMC down. No, GME was slightly green today. So why did we got the pullback? Yeah, because of manipulation. For sure. Okay, again, bullish. Let's see if we get my pullback or not. Yeah. I just don't see anything big this week. I love to be wrong on that. Just squeeze to whatever tomorrow. Perfect. Yeah. I like to be wrong on that. Yeah. Sometimes I like it. Okay. For GME, we don't have to talk today. Yeah. just if you're interested, just watch the video from Sunday, because there was no change. Yeah, we still have our two versions. Yeah, both bullish versions, but 50-50 still. There was no run today. Let's see if it changes this week. Okay, because someone wanted to see KOSS. Let's look at KOSS. So why KOSS? I mean, the theory for KOSS was always that KOSS, AMC, and GME are always going together, which they do. Yeah, I mean, if you look here, from the V to January, squeeze AMC, GME, and KOSS, and here 2024 also together. Yeah, from there comes the theory that they are sitting in the same basket and they are synchronized together. Yeah. And this time around, normally GME is the first one, but this time around in 2026, AMC looks like fire, is doing what it should. KOSS looks like fire, is doing what it should. The only candidate which isn't doing what it should is GameStop. Yeah, because GameStop looks like shit. Yeah, but again, maybe I'm wrong on the tracking for GME. Maybe. For KOSS, it's quite easy. Our low, March 2020 till May 2024, this year is just our macro high low. And then quite the same like GME, from May 2024 till today, this is just the small micro high low to our macro high low. And that's the stupid part. Because if KOSS is just in its macro high low, yeah, you have to imagine after that would come macro A, pullback, macro B, pullback, macro C, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that KOSS will sell 8,000 per share, because in that case you would get a forward split, and KOSS is like a turtle. Yeah, it's fucking slow, really. Yeah, so this will take decades. Yeah, just saying. But it's also interesting. And KOSS has no options. Yeah, and you know my opinion about stocks without options. They can fucking move if they start to squeeze. For the tracking itself, as I said, big macro high low. Then we're just looking at this. Also here, higher low is finished. In that case, we are under the 786. So, okay. There is a bearish version, but we come to that in a second. For the bullish version, we did our midpoint, we did our T, and for the bullish version, this here, on March 2026, this has to be our low. It has to be. Yeah. Then we did higher low. The T is here. And now we did a second higher low, waiting for the rest to finish, because synchronization, they all go together. The only other bullish alternative would be that this is T. In that case, we would still need to come under 371, and then we go. Only problem with this is KOSS is fucking slow. Yeah. So you see that on the 1 hour, there is no volume on that. Yeah. So if we do that, I don't know how long this would take, but only price action will tell. The only bearish alternative for KOSS is if we touch or break $3.48, this low here. Because if we do that, this becomes T. And in my opinion, this is adding at least 6 months. At least. Because our VIX is down here, 313. So you would still have to go lower than this, then doing higher low, and then blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And for KOSS, that's 20%. Yeah. Doesn't sound much. But you see this stock, there is no volume on that. it's fucking slow. Yeah. And then it's the question, okay, maybe only KOSS is doing that. And then we can argue again, okay, GME looks shit, well then GME is not squeezing and only AMC and KOSS are squeezing. There is no proof. Yeah. So for conclusion, for all memes, still, AMC looks like fire. KOSS looks like fire. GME is not doing anything. Yeah. So AMC alone, perfect. KOSS alone, perfect. GME alone, bleh. All three together, two are perfect, one is blah. So would be my conclusion on that. Yeah, but KOSS looks good, in my opinion. Yeah. Okay. Next one, BYND. Also for BYND, if you want to know the whole fractal, how the next squeeze should look like, price targets, and so on, I will link you the big roadmap video at the end. Today, we just look what we have done today. So let's zoom in. So I changed a little bit here. Just saying, we got a pretty good bounce today. Yeah, I mean, it was what? 7, 8, 9% bounce today. Is this now the breakout? I am now bullish. Yeah, as a question. Yeah, again, I'm still bearish on BYND, but yeah, I always say that I still have my position. I get bullish when we break 84 cents. Yeah, why I made these areas here? Just because right now, yeah, or let's say since May 2026, we're doing this stupid version of a downtrend. Yeah, I always say this, if you micro track something like this, you will get crazy, and it isn't right now, really, it isn't helping us really big. Yeah. Thing is, this was bullish today. My only problem with this today is, if you look, it's again a lower high. Yeah? Lower than this. That doesn't mean we break down now tomorrow. Just saying, to get really bullish, I want a real trend change. We have to get over these levels. We have good news behind us. Yeah, if you need that. Yeah. But right now, there's sadly the possibility we also can do this. Yeah. There is no confirmation for this yet. But again, I mean, I already said that in the video on Sunday. A V, the last drop to the bottom, is normally violent. And the V is not just, hey, I call that V. No, the V landmark is because it should look like a V, which it does. Yeah, but because it's not helping this guessing here. So I made these zones now. Yeah, right now, since June 4th, we are in no man's land. This whole section is in no man's land. We need to leave this section to get an answer, a bullish one or a bearish one. For the bearish, if you break or touch 57 cents, this thing is gone. You will break all-time, in my opinion. All-time lows, reverse split is already voted. I tell you, if you break all-time lows, they reverse split. And the biggest one they have is 1 to 35. They will do that. They can do that any day they want. Just saying. I think they won't do it now, but if you do the bearish route, they will. And of course, for the bullish route, if we go over at least 80, yeah, that would be a trend change. And of course, if we go over 84, we don't talk about the bearish alternative anymore. Yeah. So right now, no man's land. We have to go to the heavens door. We don't want to go to the death area. Yeah. So it was a good start of the week. Let's continue. Yeah. So conclusion, still bearish, because I want to see a trend change and going over 84. But it's a start. Good. Because of that, next thing, FFAI. Also here, if you're interested in the full thing, interested in my personal price targets. I will also link the big update video at the end. Today we just look what we have done, and I mean, Tesla had a good run today. Yes, so of course, electro companies also had a good run, maybe. And it's not looking bad. Yeah. Also here, I mean, this is a quite fat V. Yeah. I ate too much burgers. Yeah. But it's a V. So in the best case, we now see trend change because this is the macro high low finished. Perfect. Yeah. For confirmation, going over 37. Yeah, this would be a confirmation. Absolutely confirmation would be over 45. I get the feeling that if we do that, we might don't see that anymore because we're just going. Yeah. And of course, 20 cents. And that thing is that. Reverse split, delisting, OTC, whatever. For the question, can we go lower? You could say, if you reject here, this could be another small T. But then it's getting close. Yeah, we don't have much room left. Yeah, because we're not allowed to touch or break 20 cents. I mean, it's a higher low. Yeah, so the only thing which should be higher, we have to be higher than the low point from April 7. And even if it's only 1 cent. Yeah, but I would like to see that now as a V. Okay, let's see. It looks not that bad. I don't like it because I don't like electro cars and because this chart is, yeah, but it's okay. Yeah, it's just a penny stock, risky. Okay, and because someone wished it, CWD, caliber, and wanted to know my tracking on that. First of all, if you didn't wish it, I wouldn't look at it. I mean, I would look at that and would say no. Yeah. First of all, it's too young. Yeah. I mean, no, it's too young. It's not even 2 years old. Yeah? The problem with not older than 2 years is that there is not enough price action. And in that case, we even have less price action. Because what did we do? IPO peak, then doing months over months nothing, then peak, and then again nothing. Yeah. So if I would have to track that, okay, peak somewhere in here is a lower high and down up to midpoint. I mean, in the worst case, this is just lower high. Yeah. Next problem before we continue tracking. This thing has a tiny float, I think. Yeah, 8 million float. They maybe can do one other reverse split. But after that, I think it's over. Yeah. Because if your float is getting too tiny, you can't do reverse splits anymore. So whatever this is, midpoint or L, you go lower. The only thing, well, because now, okay, so is this the bottom? There is no way to say that. The only thing you can do, you see before the run, we did a higher low here. Yeah, this was a V, higher low, and this here was nearly a higher low in my opinion, because this is it really came close to the 786. So how is that helping us? Well, in that case, we zoom in here. The only thing, in my opinion, no financial advice, what you could do, if this was the V, you're waiting for the pullback. You're waiting for the, wherever the peak is. You're waiting for the 786 and buy a position here. If you're not stopping, you're closing the position again, waiting for the next higher low, buying position again. If you're making a no, you're closing position again. It's the only thing you could do. Yeah? What would be the price target? Well, if we continue with this, I mean, okay, the next thing should shoot you up to this trend line again, $24-ish, and then again down. Yeah, but really, I would say hands off. There's so better plays here. There are even better penny stocks than this. This looks terrible. Yeah, but personal opinion. Okay, and last one, VIX. So again, volatility index. Yeah, means VIX is bullish, goes up, market goes down. VIX bearish and goes down means SPY Nasdaq up. And we are looking at this section here from August 2024 till today. We had our peak, lower high, midpoint. And this midpoint is still not finished. Yeah, this midpoint started here, December 2025. To finish this, we have to go under $13. Yeah, that's why I also said in the video from Sunday, I have bearish tracking on VIX. VIX should go down. If VIX is going down, market should go up. And SPY 1.6%, Nasdaq 2.4%, and IWM is waiting at all-time highs and doing nothing. But yeah, still looks bearish. And especially, let's zoom in a little bit. If we're only tracking our M, we have a top, a lower high, midpoint. Even the smaller midpoint from our bigger midpoint is not finished yet. We have to go lower than 15, then maybe a little bit up. This would be our little T. And then we go to our V around under $13. And at $13, VIX should bounce and going up. This will be a correction in the market. But this move alone down here, this is fucking bull territory. Whatever that means. The only alternative, because people are saying, yeah, July market will crash, blah, 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 blah. I don't see it, but if VIX is going in the other direction, in my opinion, everything over 26. And VIX won't stop here. Yeah. In that case, you really go high on VIX. And this is not a correction anymore. This is 10, 20, 30% on SPY. That's market crash territory, you could say. I just don't see that. I could be wrong. But as long as we're not under $13 on VIX, I see this thing bearish. But okay. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Good. Was a shorter video. As always, explanation video here, playlist here, the big update video back here. As always, if you liked it, leave a like. If you want to see, give me an abo. If you're a little child who don't know how to behave, fuck off. No, but it's okay. Let's see what the rest of the week is giving us. See ya.